I'm leaving my family. I'm typing this in a mix of fear and nerves. I am the youngest, 22, of 5 kids M, 30, M, 28, F, 28, twins, and F, 25. My parents are heavily religious and we live in Utah. Growing up, everything had to be done perfectly. It didn't matter if it was grades, looks, social activities, or even friends. I'm different from my siblings as I was never interested in the maths and science like they were. I've always been the writer, the painter. I remember once when I was 13, I made a painting of a dove in a snowy field, and won first in the competition. I told my parents, who got angry that I had wasted my time with something so worthless, when I should have been using the time to study. I still had A's in every class. My mother won't even say more than a few words to me. She's always seems like she hates me, and I don't understand. Father burned the painting to remind me of what was truly important before taking all of my art supplies until I showed more responsibility with my time. It's been like this as long as I can remember. I work full-time, and have since I was 15 at McDonald's, dashing every bit of money I could. Father took half my checks as tithing to help teach me what being an adult was like. I applied to several colleges but was told by my parents that they would not be helping me with tuition as they did for my siblings because they thought sending me to college would just be a waste of money. So I got angry. I am so tired of being the black sheep just because I like the arts more than maths and science. And then, I heard them talking when I got up in the middle of the night about the perfect man they'd found, who is willing to take me in through our church. I am terrified, and so I'm leaving. I've got some money saved up, a good amount, and I'm leaving the country. I found a job that lets me work remote doing freelance design work, and I've had my passport since I was a kid because of our family vacations overseas. I'm taking nothing other than a change of clothes, my laptop, and important documents I took out of my father's office. I booked a flight that leaves in 5 hours and I'm never coming back. I'm not even going to take my phone since I'd need to get a new number anyway. My best friend, God bless her, had been the one booking things and getting everything ready since I couldn't tip off my parents. She's also smuggled some of my more important things I can't take to hold on to for me. She's parking down the street and I'll leave with my smallest suitcase to meet her. I don't know how they'll take this. I'm terrified they'll find a way to drag me back or track me down. They went to bed over an hour ago, but I'm too anxious to sleep. I don't know if I'll have any updates, but I just hope they don't stop me. Update 1. I'm leaving, left, my family. Wow, so much has been happening lately that it's kept my head on a swivel constantly. I'll start with the good part of the update before moving on to the less happy bits. So, I was advised to remove the location destination from my post, so all I will say is that I'm in South Africa right now, and it's amazing. The food is astonishing, and a poster here messaged me to recommend that I try bunny chow, which is actual authentic curry in a bread bowl. It was phenomenal. I got to chatting with one of the hotel staff. She's about my age and we really hit it off. She went with me to a local shopping center to get some new and better clothes. At least I'm used to wearing dresses, so that doesn't faze me, and they're very lightweight and breathable unlike a lot of US dress fabrics. She also told me to always shake out my shoes every morning just in case. I've started apartment hunting, and it's well within my budget. Like super low compared to how sky high it is in the US. It's honestly jaw-dropping, like $81 for a studio apartment with a loft and kitchenette. So yeah, housing won't be an issue, and it is a bit odd to be house shopping for myself when I've always lived with my parents. Now on to the less pleasant bits. I finally opened the emails, deciding it was best to probably get it over with. My father's email was filled with anger. There is no other way to put it. He said that by taking off irresponsibly like I did cost them the friendship of someone they'd planned on introducing to me. He never admitted that it was the 53-year-old they'd basically sold me to. Father stated that because of the social relations that had been damaged and impacted by my actions, I owe them approximately $85,000 in reparations. He also claims that he will be taking me to court if I don't pay it in full within 30 days and return home, as I obviously cannot be trusted. I plan to ignore that as I believe him to be bluffing. He ended his email rant with, "You belong to me, and I won't tolerate such defiance. When we've put a roof over your head and taken care of you for your entire life. You were never the child we expected. It's time you make up for your deficiencies. I expect you home within the next 2 weeks." Yeah, no. My siblings were basically copies of my father's email, admonishing me for throwing the efforts of our parents in their faces before running off like a coward unwilling to face the fallout of my actions. I skimmed them honestly, before just deleting them. It's nothing I didn't expect. However, my sister-in-law, she's married to my eldest brother, sent her own email before asking me not to reply as she would be deleting every sign she sent it from her end. She congratulated me on stepping out on my own and getting away from my parents and their demands. She said that she, herself hadn't been strong-willed enough to stand up to her parents when they basically betrothed her to my brother. Which makes sense as I remember that they met and then married within 6 months, and even then I thought, that was a bit strange. She pleaded with me not to return, and not to reply. That was it. It was a bit unnerving honestly, as I do believe her, and I'm sad that she is stuck the way she is. The last email was from my best friend. She said that the morning after I flew out, my parents had been on their doorstep demanding to see me. Apparently they believed I was hiding with her. They refused to leave, screaming for me to stop pretending I wasn't there. Caused enough of a scene that the police were called, but they only talked to my parents briefly and let them leave. It really angered my friend, who'd wanted them arrested for threats and trespassing. The police only claimed that there wasn't a pattern of behavior that would warrant them being arrested and charged before just leaving. She didn't know when they realized I wasn't there at her house, but they didn't come back thankfully. However, word has spread of me fleeing the safety of my parents' home, and how they wanted me to return as they were concerned and fearful of what may happen with me out on the streets alone. The church ward has actually done searches of the area trying to find me. I don't know what they'll do from here, but they have no idea I left the country, let alone the state. My friend has no plans to say anything, and neither do I. As far as I'm concerned right now, they can live with that state of wondering for the rest of eternity. I don't think I will renounce my US citizenship, as there may come a day when I need it, and it's better to be safe than sorry. But I have full plans to gain dual citizenship as soon as I am able to. That's it for now, no other parts yet. But if anything changes I'll let you know. I want to thank you all for your comments and private messages. It feels like I've got friends and family on my side, and I cannot tell you how much that means to me. Truly, thank you, all of you. Update 2. I'm leaving my family. So much advice and support from everyone. I cannot thank you all enough. I thought with all the comments and questions I thought I'd answer here, and explain what's happened since my last post. Ironically, my use of maths instead of just math comes from my mother, who is British and met my father in England when they were 22. So I do come by it naturally, and my siblings say it that way as well. I thank you for drawing my attention to the TT videos broadcasting my story, though why they changed the name I don't know. I did report them, but we'll have to see if they ever pull the videos down or at least edit them. Second is people questioning why I chose South Africa and Johannesburg of all places because of how dangerous it can be. I do understand the risks, but there is nowhere on this planet that is inherently danger-free. Africa is massive and incredibly diverse. Finding someone would be very difficult, and because those videos got so much attention I have left Johannesburg sadly. I'm very far though, obviously still in Africa. The area I'm in now is incredibly safe, and came highly recommended by several people. Settling here will be very comfortable and the people are wonderful. I may even attend the university here and get a degree. I haven't replied to the emails, but I have saved them, and printed copies and laminating them just in case. I will not be renouncing my US citizenship, and my passport is good for another 8 years. I don't hate religion, regardless of what it is. In my eyes, a person's relationship with God is incredibly personal. If a person connects with Him via camping, or walks, long drives listening to music, acts of service, that's their choice, and it's just as valid in my opinion as sitting in a pew is. Possibly more as they're honest with themselves instead of just putting on a false FADE for the public eye. I plan on ignoring any further emails from my family, other than printing them out just in case. They've made several phone calls to my friend, who's had fun with them. The first time your father called yelling that I hand you over, I pretended to be cowed, and gave him your location. Took him to a strip club. He came back screaming at how I had embarrassed him. I just hung up on him honestly. She did that each time they called, giving a different location each time. Her favorite was sending my parents to a nudist retreat. My mother passed out apparently. My friend is looking to move and eventually plans to join me, but will jump around a bit so that they don't follow her to me. I did finally read my uncle's email, but it was just a copy of my father's with the added comment that he and his fellow cops would be looking for me to bring me home safe before I got myself in trouble and hurt. I am being watchful, and I know better than to wander into dark alleyways and abandoned places. That's all I've got for now. If anything changes I'll let you all know. It's heartwarming seeing and reading how many people are on my side and in my corner. I've actually begun printing out everyone's messages and comments to put in a binder I can look back on later. Truly thank you all, I mean it. Update 3. I'm leaving my family. Hello everyone, it's been a while since my last update, and a few things have happened that I was told by my friend that I needed to share since everyone was still clearly rooting for me. I have settled in a bit here, and am now enjoying the fun of paperwork. Oh, so much paperwork. I have secured an apartment, and while it's 2 bedrooms, One is for my friend when she comes to join me. I've made a few acquaintances here locally, and I'm beginning to stand on my own a bit. My biggest challenge has been dealing with feeling uncomfortable because I don't know all of those unspoken rules the way I did in the US. As such, I'm constantly second-guessing myself, but hopefully that will fade with time. So, family. My family has learned I left the state. How they did, I'm not sure. They do, however, seem convinced that I am still in the continental US. My friend works as a cartoonist, and while she doesn't make a large amount of money, she makes more than enough to live comfortably. She's getting ready to leave herself, and decided to send my parents a farewell gift. She didn't tell me about this until just a little bit ago. She spent a few hours carefully drawing my parents as they visited each location she sent them to, including their reactions, and all scenes were ended with the phrase, "Abade, abade, abade, that's all folks." Sadly, while I've never seen Looney Tunes, as she named it, she said she portrayed my dad as similar to a coyote. I'm still not a 100% sure what that means, but she said everyone else would, before then ordering me to watch it. Maybe one day. She should be joining me around October the 9th, after country hopping several times. All the things she hasn't sold are in a secured storage unit, including the things she's been holding for me. The biggest revelation came after my father. He had a meltdown apparently after I never responded to him. He got into a fight with my mother in church, and many things were said. Among those, according to several, that my mother had cheated on my father, which, led to me. Which is why she never liked me, I guess, as I just reminded her of her mistakes. My father took her back in spite of that. But there it is. It caused a big stir in the ward, and meetings were held, though I obviously don't know what was said or done. I may never know, honestly. I am trying to move on and am even contemplating getting a tattoo. Part of me really wants to, while another points out that if I change enough, and father finds me, he won't want me then. That's all really for now. I'm not sure if I'll have anything else to share, but if anything happens I'll let you all know. Thank you for all the messages and comments. I do read them all, and it means more than you'll ever know. Update 4. I'm leaving my family. Hello everyone. Sorry this update has taken so long. Once my friend arrived, things got really hectic. She's been settling in well, and it has been a huge relief to have her here with me, as it gives me a sense of security that I didn't really have before. We've been taking time to build new routines, finding a new normal, I guess, that works for us both. It's been a challenge, but at the same time, everything has been so different one day to the next that it's kept the days from seeming boring or blurring together. One of the elderly neighbors I've been talking to a lot since I moved here has also invited the both of us to spend Christmas with her and her family. They're going to have a goat as the main meat, which is different, but I'm excited to try. It's odd to not see Christmas trees everywhere, but that's still a new thing, so it's not common here. But her granddaughter is teaching my friend, and I, some of the dances we'll be doing, as Christmas celebrations here are more like a festive party and gathering rather than a slow day spent with just gifts. It's odd, as even in my family we'd only ever be given 3 gifts. One for our body, one for the mind, and the last for the soul, to honor the Trinity according to my parents. Last year I think I received a new Sunday dress, a set of physics textbooks, and a new log journal for my scripture reading. After gift openings we'd each retreat to our rooms, and remain there until dinner was ready, usually made by mother and myself. Yet here, they're planning on doing our hair, having dances and music with food and laughter. Gifts are still given obviously, but the day is spent more with those around you than on material things. I'm excited. I've decided to ignore my family for now. I've gotten a lot of questions on why I didn't report them or confront them, and the answer is easy. It may seem a bit childish, but the thought of facing them like that terrifies me. I don't want to be around them, talk to them, or think about them. I'm genuinely scared that trying to bring justice will only drag me right back into the mess I ran from. I'm 22 and yet I'm terrified of my own family. So that's why I'm not doing anything to them. I just want to pretend, even if only for a bit, that my life isn't messed up and freakish, if that makes any sense at all. I don't know where I will be a year from now, but somehow, the thought doesn't worry me. I'm happy, genuinely happy, and excited to see where things will go from here. Thank you everyone. Really, I mean it. Looking back, it's mind-blowing how things have changed, and there is still so much I get to do. I know there are people here from all over the world. I'd love to hear your holiday traditions. I don't care if it's not Christmas, I'd just love to hear what you do this time of year and your traditions. I'm trying to figure out my new normal, and what I like, so I'd love any suggestions, be it food, music, dances, anything really.